Another one of the beautiful ladies that volunteered her time is going to come up and read next. She is the headmistress, if you will, of Circus Church. And I think you should check that out. They have an awesome Easter show coming up. I'd like to welcome to the stage Miss Chaos.
The story is called Master. I peeked out of the curtain when I heard the chattering of a large group of men near the stage. One of the guys wore a headband with a penis affixed to it like a unicorn horn, and a princess sash falling off his shoulder. There's no mistaking a bachelor party. They crowded the stage with their betrothed friends sitting front and center for the best view. He already had 3 shots sitting in front of him. As soon as I walked out of the backstage area, there were 10 fingers pointing at him and exciting flickering in their drunken eyes. I'm confused. Which one? Who's the bachelor? I laughed. The young man looked terrified. I'll give you $5 every time you smack him, said the meathead in the backwards baseball cap next to him, kissing the terrified one's clean-shaven cheek. I kneeled down to meet the bachelor's gaze. You consent to that, groom? I asked. He nodded solemnly. Smack! $5. Smack! 5 more. They roared with laughter every time my hand made contact. I held back on hitting him full force so the game stayed fun. I gave a thumbs up to the bouncer to signal that all went well. A short, balding man who was barely tall enough to see over the seated bachelor party dude's head was also observing. He was lurking in the shadows in front of the DJ booth, watching intently and shifting his weight nervously from foot to foot. I noticed he was not 2 feet away from the stage, but not tipping, his eyes locked on my hands. I decided to investigate when my set was over. You seem to be enjoying my show. I towered over him, my hands on my hips. At this time in my career, I had a look that was commanding. My hair was cut into an androgynous short style, and I wore heavy black eyeshadow with liquid winged eyeliner. I kept my nails long and wore thigh-high vinyl black boots with pointed toes. My boots added 3 inches to my 5'8" height, and my teased-up hair topped it up with another 3. His shiny little skull was barely at my rib cage. Are you here with the bachelor party? I asked. He shrugged. No, I came alone. I like your studded belt. He stared, staring at his shoes. This is going to be way too easy, I thought to myself. Follow me now, I commanded. And he did like a little bald puppy dog. Before I knew it, this guy was coming in the club all the time, waiting in the dark corner for me to come and collect him for punishment. A wholesome-looking blonde that I worked with at another club had taught me about this kind of customer. She had 3 customer slaves. She taught me the basics of being dominant and how to keep it professional and safe. While I certainly wasn't an expert, her guidance helped me to recognize the desires of it with my bald little men. I soon learned that private dances for him were often a breath of fresh air. By this time I'd been dancing for years, and the stress of the job wore on me. Most customers wanted a party girl who was happy all the time. Keeping up with that pretense wore on my mental health, and my little bald man was a great remedy. He wanted me to be cruel. I was sometimes relieved to see him when I was having a bad night, because I didn't have to pretend like I liked him, or I didn't have to plaster on a smile. However, sometimes the comedy of our interactions were hilarious. Our sessions were so over-the-top dramatic that they bordered on ridiculous. Sometimes I had to turn away from him so I didn't see my facial expressions as I struggled against the urge to crack up laughing. With every command, he scrambled to do as I said. Sit down, shut up, lick my boot, give me more money, don't look at me, look at me. The bouncers would hover at the private dance doorway so they could listen on in the action and laugh. Baldy would see them peeking in and becoming even more subservient. I'd smack him and he'd pull wads of money out of his pockets and throw them on the floor. I'd grind my heel into his thigh near his crotch and he'd throw more money on the floor.
So I have a confession to make. I was actually secretly hoping that guy would show up tonight. Like I
Like I keep looking in the corner for him. I'm like, where is he? I'll kick him in the nuts. I love that guy. I'm like, what happened to my little guy? I love that guy so much.
So you can read the rest of the story, but fun fact about that guy. I really loved him because so he would just like sit in the booth, like in the private dance booth, and I would like just yell at him and just like berate him, and he would just like throw money at me like desperately. And then at the end of the dance, I'd be like, "Clean up the money," and he would sit there and he would like face all the money and put it in the right order and like bow and like present it to me. Fucking love that guy. Where is he now? Making some other stripper very happy, I'm sure. Lane, you should look for that guy. If you're up there, like you should keep an eye open for him. That guy was awesome.